All right, so she's in this orphanage, living there. Like, this is her new home, at least for now. Whew. So, it's Thanksgiving for real. And I just got home. And I wanted to make a video about gratitude. So, this is not a video being in gratitude of having a Nikon ZR or a Sony FX3 or a Canon C50 or a Panasonic S1 Mark II if I were to choose that. And I'm shooting this with a Panasonic S5. And I'm using an old Minolta Rokkor 50mm f1.4 lens. And I'm only shooting at f4. So it's not all that sexy and crazy, but I think it looks beautiful. So she's in this place. And what happens to her next is that she's characterized, or actually, actually she's labeled as angry and depressed and difficult because she wouldn't talk. I like the way it looks on the monitor. It's not that kind of gratitude. It's not the kind of gratitude of having a Hollyland Lark Max, the original one. The one that's a little bit too big, that doesn't really look all that good, but sounds great and does the job. It's not about having a tripod like the Kyer tripod that I have, which is a great tripod. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's not as good as the Tribex, Potato Jet one, but it's a great tripod. I have a Ulanzi travel tripod that I love. It's not even about that. It's not about these lights that I have. This is gratitude for having been included in a gathering. I just kicked the light. It's about having been included in a gathering today where I was with just 8 people today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. I'm sorry, I was with 6 people. And I think it was the first time since I've been living where I moved to when I left the Bronx. I think it was the first social kind of situation since I've been here, and I've been here for 4 years. I think this is the first time that I felt normal. Like I was around my people, like people I could relate to. Like I felt like, you know what, this is something I understand. I feel like, like I belong here. Like it felt good. And you know what? That's what I was told. Like I heard that with my own ears. Like I know it's a fact. Like it is complete and absolute truth that she would not talk. Not that I felt bad, and I love where I am. And, I'm in the city all the time, so it's not like I moved to Oklahoma or something like that. But I'm far enough away where I'm not there every day. I'm not living that lifestyle anymore. I'm not where I'm used to being. Like living in New York City is like living in a hotel. You can walk out your front door and get anything you want, and at any hour of the day, any kind of food, if you need toilet paper or dental floss or whatever, you could get it any time of the day or night. And basically, you're always around your people, even though obviously New York City has a vast array of people with different perspectives and the way they look at life and the way they believe in things and how they pray and how they love and how they look and how they speak. That's what I love most about New York City. And that's kind of where I was tonight. I was in a completely diverse community of people. And I say community because these were people from all different parts of this community, but all artists. So I guess that was kind of a lucky part of it for me, and the part that if you were gambling on it and you had to bet on it, you would think, well, if there was going to be a circumstance where I felt that way, it would be this circumstance. But I was just so grateful to be there. And, the food was some of the best food I've ever had on Thanksgiving in my life. The collard greens, the potatoes, the sweet potatoes, the turkey, there was chicken, there was stuffing, there was all the stuff. And it was all organic and it was good. It was just fun. And the conversation was meaningful, but it wasn't uncomfortable, because even though we were talking about heavy real life subjects, that's the way these people were. Like usually people think that I'm too serious or I'm too intense or whatever. but I was around people who matched the way I am because they kind of come from the same place. They come from the same experience. They look at the world in the same way. They're not afraid to face things that are difficult or uncomfortable or whatever. And they don't feel like if we talk about this, we're taking away our joy, or we're not, living our best lives, or whatever people are trying to do. Like, it's all good. And I mean, duh. Both of her parents are dead. Nobody in her family wants to take care of her. She's in this strange place around all these strange kids. And don't get all crazy. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that the kids are strange, okay? I'm just saying that they were strangers to her, to this little girl, This is real life, and we're artists. And so we take difficult things and we turn it into something beautiful, something magnificent, something provocative, something disruptive. But we look at that as a good thing. Like, yeah, I am trying to disrupt you. I am trying to kind of knock you off your balance a little bit, to stop and think about some of the things that you might not feel like thinking about sometimes, or most of the time, things that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to deal with. I try to present you with something gorgeous and brilliant that makes you consider stuff that you don't feel like it. I've lost a lot of friends like that. People who think I'm too serious and too intense, like I said, but I don't look at myself that way. I joke around all the time. I've been looking for that feeling for a long time, and today is Thanksgiving. And I've always been the person you definitely do not want to invite to your Thanksgiving dinner, because I'm going to probably talk about what Thanksgiving is really about, what really happened on Thanksgiving, what we're celebrating, and how it's pretty much a bunch of bullshit. And I'm going to talk about it in a way that I think is positive and good and productive and, what we should be talking about. But that's not the only thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about the football games too, and I want to talk about John Coltrane, and I want to talk about art. I want to talk about, things that move us forward, change, evolution. I want to talk about all of it. I mean, as are the adults too in this place, right? Like who works in a place like this? I mean, I'm assuming social workers and therapists, but I mean, who's actually really taking care of these kids? But people focus on the difficult things when you bring them up. And then they define you with that. They characterize you as angry and depressed and difficult and stuff like that. And there was none of that today. It was all positive. It was all good energy, good spiritual. We gathered at the beginning and somebody said a prayer before we ate, and I thought to myself, oh geez, here we go. And it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was real talk. It wasn't some blah, 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 inauthentic, disingenuous garbage. It was good. And then we did a gratitude circle. And I thought, oh, here we go. And it was one more meaningful, moment to the next one, and then to the next one, and to the next one. Like, everybody had something to say that was so filled with good nutrition and support and uplifting, inspirational information. It just felt so healthy. And I felt so fortunate, and I felt so lucky to have landed in this place. And I have to thank my friend Gold for including me today. I think she found out about this just a couple of days ago, and she told me one of the first things she thought of is, let me see if I can get Rock out of his apartment. Because she knows I'm not the person seeking out a social situation. I'm not really pretty to myself. I'm quiet. I'm pretty isolated, and I'm happy to do my work. And I was happy tonight I had bought some food. I was going to cook a beautiful meal, and I was going to just write and just do my creative work, and just chill out and listen to Love Supreme, some Coltrane, maybe listen to Miles, maybe some Ornette Coleman, and just have a good, enjoyable evening. And instead, it was better because I was around other people. Like, I don't know, like camp counselors, teachers, volunteers, like random folks coming off the unemployment line. I mean, look, I'm just asking. I was around this circle of, now I'm going to call them friends, who made me feel like I wasn't so alone, that I wasn't all by myself, you know, in a place that I'm not really used to, that I still haven't really gotten used to. I felt like, hey, I'm in Harlem, you know, I'm in the Bronx, I'm in Manhattan, I'm in Brooklyn, I'm around people from all over the world thinking about real things, you know. It just made me feel normal, like I said. And I'm so grateful for it. And it inspired me. I've used that word a couple of times right now, but I think that's the main takeaway from today for me, is I feel really inspired by where I was tonight and by the people I was around. So generous of spirit, so welcoming, funny, friendly, just free. Like artists. This is what I love about artists. I think artists think that way because we make things out of nothing. We don't, the first thing on our minds is not money, security, retirement, our, you know, 401k, what car we have, what kind of clothes we're wearing. We don't think about that. We're always thinking about making stuff, creating something beautiful. We're like gardeners, you know, creating different colors and shapes and trying to beautify a space. And that's what we're doing, whether you're a painter or a musician or a theater artist or a poet, whatever you do, a sculptor, you're really thinking of making something better than it is, something more than it is. And you're thinking of doing it for everyone. You're thinking of sharing it. You're thinking of giving it, of contributing. Most artists don't think of doing work for themselves. They think of making art to share it, to bring people together, to create community. Is every single person who's working this place, who's asked to deal with these really vulnerable kids who need some like genuine loving attention and affection and kind words and lessons and stories, and you know what every kid needs when they're little, when they're still trying to work things out. I mean, that's what it felt like, just sitting around with people, like-minded people like that. It was just incredible. I feel I'm in a lot of good energy right now, and I feel a lot of gratitude for having been there. And you know, maybe this seems like kind of over the top or whatever, but like I said, I hadn't felt this way for a long time. And there's something else that's coming out of this tonight that I'm not going to share here, but I'll share it soon. But like a miracle, like something that was on my mind heavily for the last couple of months, actually for the whole time I've been here, but really for the last few months. And it's like I stepped into the answer, the solution, the path, the direction. I stepped right into it. And I couldn't believe it. And so I'm feeling that opportunity. You know, my friend Lisa always says to me, say to yourself every day, there's nothing too wonderful to happen to me. I actually put it on my refrigerator. She said it to me a long time ago because, you know, sometimes we don't think that way. We don't allow for beautiful things to happen to us, you know. And if your life is challenged and hard, and as an independent artist, my life is pretty challenging. It's pretty hard sometimes, and you kind of get used to that struggle. And you have to remind yourself, like, there's nothing too wonderful that can happen to me. Like, I accept the abundance, I accept the good things, I accept the leveling up, the little bit more easy in my life. You know, I mean, I don't know, I just think that it just makes a whole lot of sense that, you know, a little kid placed in a situation like this might find it hard to speak. My director for my first play, I had done Broke Wide Open for 6 years. And it was a play about all the hard things in my life, the difficult things, the obstacles, all the stuff that was really hard. You know, it was a very vulnerable, revealing work of art. 2.5 hours of me on stage yelling and screaming and crying and laughing, and it was a lot. And when it closed, my director said to me, we were sitting in the theater together, and his name was Steven, and he said to me, "So, did you get anything out of this after 6 years?" Like, we were closing after 6 years. This was a big deal for me. And he's like, "How do you feel? Like, did you get anything out of this whole journey of 6 years? Like, do you feel better? Do you feel relieved? Have you gotten to a better place in your life? And more importantly, can Rock Wilk write and create great art if he's happy? If he's, you know, living in a better, easier space where he can breathe, where he's let go of a lot of the angst and the anxiety, can you still be the best of yourself as an artist living that way?" And when he said that to me at first, I was like, what kind of stupid question is that? But I totally understand what he was talking about. And I think a lot of artists, I know for myself, I've made my best art during the most difficult times of my life. Like, she might be really fucking scared and nervous and perhaps speechless. But I've learned that I can make my best art no matter what, whether I'm at the best time or the worst time. It's all about empathy. Because it ain't all about me. It's not just about where I am. See, I feel like I have these God-given gifts, but that doesn't matter. There are so many talented people who can do a lot of different things creatively. I could do a lot of different things, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that I take the responsibility to contribute, to create, to do things that are not just for me, that I'm not just trying to be a celebrity or trying to be a star or trying to get rich or whatever. It's like I'm trying to give. I'm trying to be with people. I'm trying to just be a part of it. Just do my part, do my best. Do my little bit, you know, like a lot of people say, my art is going to change the world. And I'm like, yo, you ain't nobody changing the world by themselves. But if we all do our part, if we all do that little bit that we get to do, that we have the opportunity to do, because there are millions and millions and millions of people in the world, and you're just one, I'm just one. And we have an opportunity to do something. And we have the opportunity to do our best. And if we do that, and if everybody does that, imagine that. Imagine that everybody's doing their best and their intention is to give it to everyone else, to share it, to create a better space for all of us, a more spiritual, I'm running out of words, but something that is just for everyone. And I mean, it's just so deep when you really stop and allow yourself to think about that for a minute. I mean, these are kids, you know, children. Like, she was 10. That's what I felt today. I'm really grateful. Grateful for the food, grateful for the music. I'm grateful for the surroundings. I was in a beautiful, beautiful space around some amazing people, talented, intellectual, spiritual, and just nice, kind, friendly, welcoming, inviting, interesting, interested, listening people listening to you, people not just talking over each other. It was just really, really cool. So that's all I want to say about it. I just felt like I wanted to make this video because I wanted to document this moment for myself so I could look back on it, but also I feel like this is good to share because I feel like I wish this for everybody. I wish this kind of feeling, this kind of situation, this kind of scenario for every human being. I wish for this for you. I feel grateful to have had it today, and I'm going to savor it, and I'm going to take advantage of it, and I will share with you the miracle that occurred that it's going to manifest itself over time. But absolutely, I'm going to call it a miracle. And there's nothing too wonderful to happen to me. And you. And everybody. All of us. So I'm going to do the YouTube stuff. Please subscribe. And please hit the like button. And please consider joining my Patreon. And please consider even more checking out my GoFundMe for my film, because I am desperately trying to raise this money to make this happen. And I need your help. So if you're so inclined and if it's comfortable for you, because I don't want anybody to do anything that's not comfortable for them, but if it is, I will honor your support with the best work that I could possibly do, the best art I could possibly create. And that's all I got to say about all of that. All right, so she's in this orphanage, living there. Like, this is her new home, you know, at least for now. So she's in this place, and then what happens to her next is that she's characterized, or actually, no, she's actually labeled as angry and depressed and difficult because she wouldn't talk. And oh, that's what I was told. Like, I heard that with my own ears. Like, I know it's a fact. Like, it is complete and absolute truth that she would not talk. And I mean, duh, you know? Both of her parents are dead. Nobody from her family wants to take care of her. She's in this strange place around all these strange kids. And don't get all crazy. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that the kids were strange, okay? I'm just saying that they were strangers to her, you know? I mean, as are the adults in this place too, right? Like, who works in a place like this anyway? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming social workers and therapists, but I mean, who's like literally taking care of these kids, you know? Like camp counselors, teachers, volunteers, random folks coming off the unemployment line. I mean, look, I'm just asking. Is every single person who's working in this place, who's asked to deal with these really vulnerable kids who need some like genuine loving attention and affection and kind words and lessons and stories, and you know what every kid needs when they're little, when they're still trying to figure things out. I mean, you know what, I'm just asking who works in these places. Because, you know, they need to be on some like superhero of humanity level as far as I'm concerned. I mean, these kids have no families to rely upon anymore, like no one familiar to them. And so, I don't know, it just makes a whole lot of sense to me that a little kid placed in a situation like this might find it hard to speak. Like she might be really fucking scared and nervous and perhaps speechless. And I mean, that's just so deep when you really stop and allow yourself to think about that for a minute. I mean, these are kids, children, you know, like she was 10.